Welcome to Softcore History.
Welcome back to Softcore History. I'm your host, Dan Regester, and I am joined, as always, by Jake Goldman.
What's up, baby? Just planting trees out here, man. I'm out here digging up trees and planting trees. I planted one more.
Is that a euphemism, or what is that?
He was talking about his gardening situation before the show started, and
I
didn't know we were going to call back to that.
Well, that's what I'm doing because I can feel it now.
I was kind of hoping it was something sexual with his wife.
Yeah.
Oh, planting my fucking...
That's more like, it's more like planting.
And we don't really want to hear stories about your wife. Like, have some respect for her.
I do respect her. I'm talking about the trees I planted for her.
What is that?
You're
Is she pregnant?
Sick fuck.
Is she pregnant?
Dan's face is
fucking sick individual. That's your wife.
You know how to do it to me, Dan.
That's the woman you're married to. Potentially the mother of your children if you ever get to that point.
Jakey Goldman seed over here.
Jakey Goldman seed.
Yeah.
Actually, the other voice is Rob Fox. Hand me the headphones so I can just listen to ourselves.
Just so you can see, just so you can hear.
We have no producer.
You're the producer.
New studio. Yeah, I am the producer.
You are the producer of the show.
Yeah, we got a loaded show today. So no time to gab.
No time for banter.
No gabbing.
Yeah.
No gab bag.
Oh man, I'll have to tell
Patreon.
my wife to listen to this one.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're only gabbing
She's
about how
already
we're
turned it
not
off.
going to gab. Yeah.
She's already turned it off.
So we're not gabbing.
No gab.
No time to gab. Especially in light of recent news. Obviously, the protests currently going on in this country, I figured it was impossible this week to ignore our very petite, yet equally important female audience.
How do you know they're petite?
Well, I just meant like statistically.
Oh, sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I'm sure
they're
their measurements are wonderful.
Everyone's are.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
We're body positive.
We talked about on the Patreon episode how fatties are dumb, but they weren't paying to hear that, so.
You get the real takes on the Patreon.
Yeah.
We're awful.
But to be fair, that wasn't gender specific.
And for our Patreon, too, man or woman, you're still paying us full price.
Yeah.
You're not going to pay us 75 cents for the dollar.
Yeah. No. If anything, we're almost de facto charging women $1.25 for every dollar a man is paying, right?
If anything, we should, right?
It's a 25, so they're at a 25-cent deficit.
If you're a female listener, we should
Right.
charge you $7 for the Patreon. Just because you got to grind harder, you know? You got to earn this.
So yeah, you have to flip it over, right?
Overcompensate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're taking more of their money, is what I'm saying.
Of course, check us out, patreon.com/softcore
Women be shopping.
history.
Women bitches be shopping.
Yeah, you know. Our Patreon.
Yeah, go to the Patreon.
Goodbye, all female listeners.
Now that they're gone.
The cries and chants.
We never believed you were here.
The cries and chants of my body, my choice, filling the streets of this great nation. There was really no better time to talk about perhaps the single most important feminist movement of the last century. We, of course, are talking about the most patriotic and essential right that every citizen of this land, whether a man, woman, child, even camel, deserves, and that is the right to look cool and smoke cigarettes.
What a good time to dunk on chicks.
Yeah, man.
This whole episode is about a movement that was for women.
Okay.
And it was...
Oh, yeah, because women couldn't smoke outside.
Women couldn't smoke outside.
They really couldn't.
We really just don't let them...
That's
do you remember
insane.
like 10 years ago when the Tea Party was like, Sharia law is coming? I think we already had it.
The Tea Party said that?
Yeah, that was their big thing.
They're like, you were like 8 years away from Sharia law, which low key seems like something they'd be into, to be honest.
Yeah,
but-
what?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Dude, Sharia law allows like 17 weeks.
It's like, bro, have you read Sharia law?
They allow 17 weeks.
Nobody talks back to
for
you.
Borton?
Yeah.
I think that's for the man's benefit.
For
I think if
whoever's
the dude's like, keep it. But if like 16 weeks in, the dude's like, I don't know about this.
It doesn't
He's
matter.
like,
It doesn't matter
flush
how
it.
they
actually install a toilet handle on the Arab woman's stomach, and the guy's just like,
wow, it's
a lot.
Yeah.
The guy's
a
just
lot,
like, you
dude.
know what? I mean, that's how in control. They're like, you know what? I don't want it. Boop.
I mean, yeah, I personally not a fan of any religious law basing, but
Yeah, theocracy. We've had a lot of bad forms of government. Theocracy seems like a top 2, 3 worst.
Would be cool if the Pope ran the entire world, right?
Again, yeah. Again.
Yeah.
Once again.
Yeah.
Well, like Jake said, women couldn't smoke.
Outdoors?
And so,
or anywhere?
For a while, it was everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
Bullshit.
police that.
So at the center of
Wait, hold
this
on.
movement...
Can I just ask real quick? Did the patriarchy accidentally give women extra years on their lives?
Dude, wait a minute. Are you saying like, oh man, men knew better in that moment?
I'm just saying it seems like that's a win for women.
Well, here's the
Gift-wrapped
thing.
by the
Here's the
patriarchy.
thing, Rob, right? This movement to allow women to smoke
Yeah.
was, of course, put in motion successfully by a strong man.
By a strong, yeah, of course.
By a
His
strong
name
man.
was John Marlborough. He wanted to sell cigarettes.
Not quite.
Almost.
So the episode revolves around a man by the name of Edward Bernays.
The inventor of the sauce, of course.
He's the nephew of Sigmund Freud.
Ooh, my little
Okay.
cocaine daddy.
And is
Well, that's the thing,
largely
though. He was-
considered the founding father of public relations.
Ugh.
Or in his own words, engineering consent.
Ooh,
Oof.
this is a
Went from
nightmare. Dan.
cringe to creepy.
Yeah.
Well, Freud was pretty creepy too. Also,
Well, he wanted to fuck his mom, right?
I guess something like
Everyone
that.
wants to fuck their
But
mother.
really, if you're related to Sigmund Freud, I assume there's something Freudian about sucking dick and cigarettes. And this guy was just like, dude, I bet if we get all these chicks to smoke, they'll want to suck dick harder. And
Or it's like they already do that, so they're going to want to smoke too. We can sell a bunch
something
of
of the, yeah. Every time I hear anything Sigmund Freud said, I'm like, look, I don't know any better because I'm dumb and don't have a fucking PhD in any of that stuff or anything. But like, it sounds like something I would hear and be like, that's pseudoscience.
Oh, yeah. I mean, people don't look kindly back on Sigmund
Yeah.
Freud anymore. Like, he started
Like
a movement, but
he had like a jump to conclusions mat for
Well,
psychology.
It was also just
Well,
like-
that's the thing about the Irish. They're impervious to psychoanalysis.
it's true.
yeah, because his version of psychiatry is you sit there and listen. You don't interact at all.
Yeah.
It's stonewalling. Like, it's
And what is they? So it's like an episode of Law and Order where the cops are just looking at him. It's like, I didn't do nothing, man. She was crying, and I didn't know why she was crying.
Yeah, it's that.
Well, okay, she was crying because I took her bra off, but it looked uncomfortable. Okay, I raped her, and it's just like
that is the Sigmund Freud approach. Yes.
Well, sometimes
doesn't
that's
work.
actually the best way to handle. No, that's the best way to handle a situation, especially with like a significant other. They just want to vent. I've learned this, obviously, with all my failed relationships. Do not try to fix the problem. Let them talk.
Yeah.
Actually,
let them just vent.
Dan's the best at love. Dan's the best at love. We talked about this earlier. Dan is the best at love.
Was that on the Patreon? That we
Yes,
said
that was on the
Patreon.
Patreon. Dan's the best at love. That's
Failure-
easily the best.
Failure is the best teacher.
No, that is the best fucking lesson you can learn.
Yeah,
as far
you
as-
just listen.
Just listen.
Well, not listen. Just don't talk.
Yeah, don't talk.
Don't try to fix the problem.
And in fact, I would recommend not listening because it'll make you want to talk.
It always does. It's like, no, this
the
is
weirdest thing about
it's like
conversations,
the
right?
simplest solution. And you just lay it up to them, and they're
Yeah.
like, no, I don't want that.
No,
you just-
because you don't want to have someone else fix your problem.
You just
want
need
your problem to be like
Right. You just need to
To
be
go
able to
away.
like on cue without thinking, be like laugh, say words like totally and of course. You know what I mean? And then just keep
dude. And that's a two-way
And
street. That is
occasionally throw in, oh, that bitch.
bitch. Yeah,
but
bitch.
that's also how a lot of people want to be like. That's not just a woman thing. I want to be very clear. I also want to just bitch about something for a minute.
yeah.
Oh,
And
you
not
have
have,
very
like, a
feminine qualities about you.
And not have
Oh,
someone
yeah, that's
poke
fine.
holes in your shitty theory.
Yeah, it's like
Whatever it is. Because I don't mean you, but like, oh, you know, it's like, I'm just saying, man, if work ran like this, and then they're like, well, I mean, it does sound like you're just like, shut the fuck up.
No, it's like I'm complaining about something. It's like, well, have you talked to anyone about that? It's like, no, I don't communicate well.
I say that to my wife all the time. I'm like, well, why don't you say something? And she's like, well, no. And I'm like, oh, well, it sounds like the problem's just going to keep persisting. But see, then more problems for me spring up. So it's better to just be like, "Pff, unbelievable. Totally. Pff, yeah. Idiots.
You're so right.
You're right. You're right.
That's why we just smoke weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
That's why.
Yeah, it really brings out the anxiety.
Weed? Not anymore. It used to, but not anymore.
Glad you got over that hump.
It was a weird one from like 25 to yesterday.
Had to
but I
smoke
got
your way
there.
through it.
Yeah. No, when times get tougher, you double down on that bowl, man. You spark another
Right.
one up, man.
Yeah,
It's like, wait, why am I worried? I don't know. I'll forget this too.
Any good 3-point shooter, just got to keep shooting.
Just
Gotta
heat
keep
check
shooting.
yourself with pot, man.
Yeah. Make sure you're talking to the mic, by the way.
I am.
Okay. I should keep the headphones on, but I don't want to because I look like a dork.
You look cooler with them around your neck.
Yeah.
Very
It's like
functional.
your stethoscope.
Yeah. So we're talking about Bernays, and we're talking about the legalization of women ripping heaters
For it.
with the
Which
torches.
is hot, by the way.
The Torches of Freedom campaign. which
Ooh,
is-
I love that.
a good
my
name.
Of course,
God.
this came from the father of PR. That's
That
an
is
amazing.
the father of PR. What was the other one? Engaged consent?
engineering consent.
Engineering
Yeah.
consent.
Not as great.
Which, by the way,
That was
sounds terrible, but most consent has to be, I'm not talking about fucking, but like anything has to be engineered. Everything's a sale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Like you don't just like you don't just walk into a bar and like stand in the corner with your penis out until someone's
who's sucking tonight, boys?
like you
Yeah.
it's everything's a sale, right? Like
You
kind of all consent, no matter what, whether you're eating food or whatever, it's all engineered to an extent.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound good.
No,
Ironically, bad PR for the alternate name for PR.
Well, engineering consent was the winner out of the two choices. The other one was no means yes, but God, no. Engineering consent sounds like a fancy way of saying no means yes.
Yeah.
Like
So in the
Make
early
them love it.
20th century, ladies enjoying a dart or two at this time were considered an immoral action or corrupt woman.
We didn't let them do anything really.
It was far less problematic for men because the danger was kept in check by the inherent male ability of self-control and rationality.
that's the biggest joke of the whole
Good
episode.
Lord. What?
Remember that?
It's the only things we're not known for.
That's-
That's like Genghis Khan's fucking abstinence.
All right. Not my words. These are
I know.
textbook words.
Self-control.
Whereas women, if they smoked, would likely become addicted since they were seen as weak and emotional.
yes, no one was addicted to cigarettes at this time.
Not men. Couldn't be.
No,
I do want to find the one man who's just like, not getting me, motherfucker.
No, it's like I only smoke 2 packs a day. I'm not like one of those 4-pack monsters.
Dude, at this point,
I could stop at any time.
You know, we talk about like vaping. One of the problems with vaping, at least at first, was like you could do it anywhere. You could do it inside. There are no rules against vaping. You're vaping right now inside. But that was smoking for most of history.
Yeah.
You could do it anywhere. There was no like, oh, I got to go outside. I don't want to. I'll wait.
And the funny thing about vaping
I'm
now,
at my desk.
the funny thing about vaping now is like people will be like, "Hey, can you not do that in here?" And you're like, "Sure," and then you just hide it because no one knows. You're just like, "Oh, well,
Because it dissipates. It's not smoke. Like
yeah.
it dissipates.
It doesn't cling to the walls."
Right.
Yeah.
So, female smoking was related to lack of morals and doubtful sexual behavior.
Wait, what years are these, by the way?
So this is the early 20th century. So
Okay.
or like 1904
Okay.
area. So up until this point.
If she smokes, she picks. Classic.
So it was associated with pornography, prostitution, all that fun jazz.
Probably associated with jazz as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Some states even enforced laws outlawing the act altogether. Most notably, Jenny Lasher in 1904 was sentenced to 30 days in jail for puffing sticks and putting her children's morals at risk. That was the allegation she caught.
You know what's weird?
That would fly today.
Yeah.
That would absolutely.
Someone
fly
would try to jail a woman for smoking around her kids.
Oh, that would fly 1,000%.
Right.
We're the pendulum's swinging way back
yeah.
on nicotine.
Time's a flat circle,
Yeah.
blah, all that,
They
blah,
just
blah, blah.
outlawed Juuls, man.
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm sitting here puffing a
That's
fucking...
kind of why I did this episode.
Like
too.
if you,
Escobar.
like someone would feel, some fucking Karen would feel so compelled to call child services on a woman ripping heaters in her home that she had a child in.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think people should smoke cigarettes inside their home, and 1,000% not with children. Like you shouldn't be able to.
No, you should be able to do whatever you want in your house.
I
Blow smoke in those little
I
bastards'
agree.
faces.
You should be able to do whatever you want in your house. I can look down on you for it. I'm not calling the cops on fucking anybody.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Don't be a narc.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. In 1908, New York City passed an ordinance making it illegal for ladies to smoke in public. D.C. and other metropolitan cities did the same a little after. Ironically, the group leading the charge against women's right to smoke were, of course, their own. Women.
All right. I got to just.
You're going to unpack a lot here, Dan.
Yeah, I got to just say something real quick. I understand everyone being upset with the Roe v. Wade thing. That would upset me too if I was a woman a lot. It upsets me anyway because I think it's fucking dumb. But fuck, dude. The amount of people who are like blaming men for this is insane. Literally 50% of the pro-life movement is fucking women. When I like growing up in a Catholic church, every organizer for that shit was a fucking woman. Everyone. It was like the woman's. It'd be like weird if like the dads believed it too. Not all of them, but like the ones who did. All the organizers and shit were moms. Listen,
of them. In general, women don't support each other. That's just a fact. If you're at the gym, you got your bros. They gas each other up.
Anyone.
You hit a PR. Everyone's just dapping you up.
Any dude will give you a spot.
Yeah, any dude will spot you. Any dude will,
bro.
This guy might have just randomly generated 4 feet away from me. He's gonna give me a spot.
Women, not the same.
Women never spot me.
They never spot any other women. I've never seen it.
I'm sure that's very.
And
false.
of course,
it's
women. By the way, it was women that drove prohibition too.
But I mean, they always tear each other down on
I
social
get
media.
that one too.
Yeah,
because it's like, what was the drunk husband doing?
I know. That gets like talked about a lot, but it was really just religious women who kind of used domestic abuse as a smokescreen to punish a majority of people who weren't doing that.
I think you were talking about, oh man, blaming men. I think it's just it's more of just a religious people getting what they want.
It is, and it's stupid. It's a minority of people. Like most people support abortion for some amount of weeks, like 15 to
Jesus
18
Christ,
mostly,
the people that are like,
20
but we're not supposed to get political, but I don't give a fuck. Like,
No, we're here for that. The Chicago Anti-Cigarette League was founded in 1899 by
draw
women.
direct parallels to it, but don't talk about it.
Don't talk about this thing. That's very much what you led in with.
All I'm saying is,
It's
it's not dudes. It's crazy religious people.
It's zealots, man.
Yeah. It's not fucking dudes. Come on. Give me. I just want to, like, every time I see that, I'm just like, I didn't fucking do that. Don't yell at me. It's like what I said to my wife. Like, I didn't fucking do it. You're just mad. You're just mad. And I'm here to yell at.
And you have to listen.
Well,
You listen.
you have to not talk.
You
Just don't talk. Yeah, don't talk.
Yeah, listening is up to you.
They were also helped by the International Tobacco League, who lobbied for filmmakers to refrain from letting female characters smoke unless they were being portrayed as undesirable.
Wait, so the tobacco industry was like, yeah, we don't want hot women smoking.
They wanted hot women that were whore smoking.
Which is what every dude wants.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what kind of boner wants, like, the goody two-shoe? Everyone low-key wants, like, a chick who's a little bit...
I mean, and that's a tale as
Promiscuous.
old as time. That's,
Yeah.
again, a two-way street.
Yeah.
What chick's like, oh, man, he does his taxes on time. What a great guy.
Yeah, no one...
Well, look, they might settle down with that person, but they're going to fuck 10 dudes who the IRS is... Well, they don't have enough money for the IRS to even come after.
The IRS doesn't know they exist.
Yeah. But they're going to... Before they settle down with, like, Mr. Tax Boy, like, they're going to fuck 10 idiots.
Well, yeah, because those guys usually don't survive. They wreck their Harley, and they just they fall off and hit I don't know.
The Gary Busey themselves. Yeah.
They're not alive anymore.
They're dead now.
Whereas men, by the way, do the opposite. We get in relationships with people we have no business being in a relationship with. You know what I mean? Like they'll like the women will like hook up and be in a relation with them, but like we get in relationships, I feel like with people we maybe think we could be with long term, but like definitely, like the women really are under no illusion about it. Like they know that he's a piece of shit. They're just kind of doing it. Men are just like, I think she's the one, but she's awful.
Women are always like, I can change him. What are you talking about?
Oh, well, men are like not even like that. They're like, no, she's great.
Yeah, no. There are very few men that go into a relationship like, I can change her.
No,
we don't change her.
No, men are just like, oh no, she's actually awesome.
Yeah.
And everyone else is like, no, dude, no. Whereas the chick knows.
I will say, how many friends have you had that like they're dating someone, you're like, dude.
That they marry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, come on.
What are you doing? But
Bro.
you don't get in the way.
You don't.
Just let it happen.
Just let it play out.
No, guys will never speak up on that either.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, we'll spot you. Not for that.
But not in
hey
life.
man, listen, we'll get this real weight that's crushing your chest, but the metaphorical weight crushing your soul, that's all you. Yeah, you don't get a spot.
That's
for
your
that.
cross to bear, yeah. The time for smoking also helps separate men and women, promoting an organized organization of space that reflected a produced social role for each gender. After dinner, women were in the kitchen preparing dessert. Men were smoking in their offices. Women should not only abstain from smoking, they should not even be in the same place that men were smoking.
Can't get that second hand.
In public spaces, a man who gives up his right to smoke because of the presence of a woman was considered a gentleman.
Well, of course.
Yes. So the taboo
What
nature...
that means, by the way, so somebody smoking in front of chicks was just getting everything.
What's that, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
just blowing smoke in their face, yeah.
Let me get some of that side stream.
Yeah, and some fucking boner doing his taxes is like, that guy's a bad man. Stay away from him.
This is also before filters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the taboo nature slowly started to shift once we get involved in what? World War I. This is when, obviously, the men go off to war, and suddenly women have to handle shit here at home. Suddenly, smoking went up in the female population, obviously when they're working factory jobs.
Right.
And
Got to get the relieve the fucking stress somehow.
Yeah.
Also, I assume, by the way, it went up because when the boys came back and they're like, hey, don't smoke in front of that. They're like, shh, I was in a trench for a fucking year. Suck my dick.
It's like, do you know how much more nicotine I got in that trench?
I will crawl into your baby's crib and smoke an entire fucking pack of cigarettes if I fucking feel like it.
We won the Great War. This is never happening again. Let me live.
And the women felt the same way.
war, asshole.
The women were like, we had to handle everything here. We're going to smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, so with World War II, something similar happened where hazing was really common at like all colleges, not just in fraternities, but in general.
Oh, yeah. Freshmen got hazed.
Yeah, yeah. And I remember learning this at Mizzou on my like freshman orientation where all freshmen had to wear like some kind of dumb like spinner hat, some dumb little hat.
Yeah.
Like you see it at Animal House.
Yeah,
I think.
the
They're wearing their dumb
beanie.
little
Yeah.
freshman hats.
They were wearing a small woman on their head?
Yeah.
A spinner?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And they when World War II ended and everyone had that GI Bill or whatever, they showed up and they were just like, ooh, fresh. But they're like, no, I stabbed 4 Germans in the throat.
I mean, did you ever have like a
not doing
veteran
that.
Yeah, we
rush?
I didn't.
After,
thankfully.
after they come back from their
haze
tour,
that guy.
you don't
Nope.
haze him.
No, actually,
You're just in.
we had a guy that was like late 20s, I think, join the fraternity. This was before I was there, but they just basically pulled him in there and they're like, hey, man, listen, we're not going to do this to you. He's like, no, do it. Like, I want to be a part of it. And they're like, all right, man, we're going to tell you everything we're going to do beforehand just because we have too much respect for you.
Yeah.
Like, we can't just
We also
like,
don't want to cause some PTSD
or just anything like that. And
All you're gonna cause is the giggles.
Are
you kidding?
He was married with a kid.
Yeah, PTSD for what?
Yeah.
You already went through basic, which is probably worse. Like unless you're doing something wild like booze hazing, which he just probably would say no to.
No,
Like,
I don't know if like maybe you had a blindfold on and all of a sudden the fireworks go off and
Yeah, I
he's
guess.
back.
Yeah.
Like something triggers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. But no, they were just like, we're still going to tell you everything.
It's crazy how when you have to do something so outside the bounds of like normal society, that when you get back and people can just see in your eyes that you don't give a fuck anymore. They're just like, okay.
You got
We
out of the
can
way.
use another war, to be honest. Let's have another world war because all the progress happens after that. You know, people get back and they're like,
We gotta chill.
No, like you're not taking abortion rights from me.
I think we're
I just
trying.
fucking, yeah.
I think we're trying to get into a world war right
We
now.
might as well. Let's just get it over with.
Nah, I don't want that.
The great catharsis of war. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So noticing the tide starting to turn, George Washington Hill, president of American Tobacco Company and Lucky Strike, poached Edward Bernays from the U.S. government's Committee of Public Information to come up with ways to encourage more women to pick up the habit. Hill said it would be like opening up a gold mine in front of my own yard.
It would be.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
That's usually what doubling your profits is.
Yeah. If not more somehow, because there's probably more women still.
Bernays saw himself as a master manipulator of the masses. His basic core principle belief was that society needs to be fed things.
Dan talks about it all the time on Drinking Bros or American Party or something. Paralysis by analysis.
Yeah. Analysis paralysis. It's
Too many choice. It's like what's why people like pull up Netflix and there's nothing to watch.
there's plenty to watch. It's just none of it. You don't know what to pick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think actually one of our old bosses would say this a lot. Creativity loves constraints.
It does. You work better inside of a box. And I will
you try to push it.
fully vouch for that in so much as one of the best things that ever helped me with writing was having to write vines at TFM. Because there's no like, well, okay, you told me a minute, but I can go like I'll do it a minute
6
5.
seconds, dude.
Yeah, well, I know, but like just in general, like,
Right.
okay, you told me this limit, but I'm just gonna go like 10% over just because there was one extra job. It's like no, you have this amount of time, and that's fucking it.
Yeah.
Yep. So, in his own words, modern propaganda is a consistent, enduring effort to create or shape events to influence the relations of the public to an enterprise, idea, or group.
And it's interesting that so the book was called Engineering Consent, right?
No, that was just what he called like public relations.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
not
So
a
that was
book.
just
Yeah.
Chomsky.
I'm sure he wrote a book though.
Well, I read a lot of Chomsky in school.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote a book called Manufactured Consent.
Oh, so he probably ripped this dude.
Well, it's about the consequences of this.
Okay.
Almost exactly. I feel like I've heard of this guy before.
You probably have.
Yeah.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
So Bernays and the tobacco lobbyists not only needed to get over the social stigma that women face smoking, but also the ridicule they endured when actually participating in the act.
Look at her; she doesn't even know how to do it.
Here's a quote from a
we
local
go.
bar owner during the time. He said, "They don't really know what to do with the smoke. Neither do they know how to hold their cigarettes properly. Actually, they make a mess of the whole performance."
What a call! I'm just gonna give myself credit here.
Yeah, that's good. But also, they don't know what to do with the smoke. You breathe it.
No, I think maybe he means how to dispose of it,
Perhaps.
right? Like where to blow it. Like they're just like.
They thought so little of these
right out in front of
women.
'em?
They thought so little of these women that Philip Morris even sponsored a lectured series that taught women the proper form and art
Incredible.
of smoking.
Fucking incredible.
It takes me back to the King of the Hill episode where Hank's
Yeah.
harping on Bobby about how he doesn't know how to hold the cigarette.
Because
Right?
he told it like
A Frenchman.
I think he said a Nazi European. Don't hold it like some Nazi European.
That's one of the best episodes of King of the Hill.
Oh, it's so good.
Bernays needed advice and consulted psychiatrist A.A. Brill, who had been one of Freud's pupils. What he asked Brill is, what is a woman's desire to smoke? Cigarettes, which are equated with men, his reply, became torches of freedom. That was Bernays' inspiration. His campaign, Torches of Freedom, came from this conversation. It was an act of emancipation to light up those cigarettes.
By the way, the more tobacco gets restricted or whatever, eventually somebody's got to make a brand called Freedom Torches.
It's like
They can't do it now because Charlottesville was only like 6 years ago.
Oh, jeez.
Right.
It's like
It's tiki torches.
Yeah, but
they were Freedom Torches.
They were
then.
Freedom Torches. Yeah.
Anyway.
So give it a couple
the
more
word
years.
freedom itself has kind of been bastardized.
People make a lot of. People try to make a lot of words dirty. I just ignore the idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I also agree that it is a bastion of emancipation because anytime I get to smoke inside a bar, I do feel like the freest motherfucker alive.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh yeah. The last place I don't smoke cigarettes, but the last place I was in where people were smoking cigarettes was at your bachelor party,
In Gainesville?
Jack's Beach.
Oh, Jack's Beach. They smoked in balls,
the
too.
bumper pool bar. Oh, were people smoking in balls?
Yeah, you could smoke at balls.
There were
still.
so many people there that I didn't notice.
I feel like we smoked at that bar we went to before COVID, like right before COVID.
Oh, the pool ball, the pool hall.
We went to a pool hall before COVID?
Yeah, like the week before COVID.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the last time we were all out. Before
We took a
COVID.
picture. I was wearing an Angels jersey.
Dude, I don't even remember it.
Oh, fuck, what was the name of that? It doesn't matter.
It's
Yeah.
right off. It's on the way here. It's a 290
is.
Oak Cliff.
Oh. Yeah. I'll think of it in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to scream it mid-sentence.
That's fine. So the giant PR stunt that he planned to launch his Torches of Freedom
Boomers.
campaign, it was Boomers, yes. The Torches of Freedom campaign was the 1929 Easter Sunday parade in New York City.
Oh my God, a smokers' rights parade. Everyone's just fucking ripping heaters.
Think of the rights, guys.
I wanna be there. For
So
that.
technically at the time, women were only allowed to smoke in the privacy of their own homes, so this would really make a statement in his mind. He needed women that would be appealing to the masses, but not overly modelly.
This is kind of like the Free the Nipple campaign.
Yeah. This is, by the way, where it's history, and I don't even know if moderates or centrists actually took these positions in history, but using history is the best way to make fun of centrists. Just like some guy trying to find like the middle ground. Like, that's not really what a centrist is, but it's still funny to be like, that's like some guy trying to be like, okay, hold on. Okay, women can smoke. But only in the bathroom with the shower running. What do we think? That's pretty good. Come on.
Let's sit on the fence.
It's
Sit
all
on the
about
fence with me,
compromise.
boys.
All right.
Yeah.
If you're not going to compromise, you're the asshole here.
So he, again, wanted women in this parade smoking that were like attractive, but not overly attractive.
Yep.
What?
Pick your mic back up.
Not too hot.
Yeah, because he didn't want it to seem fake.
Oh,
Like they were
see,
hired actresses.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes sense, actually.
That makes it a lot more. I don't know why.
He wants an every woman.
They're too. We need a parade of every woman.
He also hired their own photographers for the parade to capture good pictures and be statement worthy for publications around the world.
It's gonna be the first parade, the first walking situation where everyone's just gassed at the end.
Oh, God.
Holy shit!
Parade break. Take a 5-minute stretcher.
It had to appear as a spontaneous demonstration, not an organized advertisement. He went and sent a telegram to Vogue asking for 30 of their employees to participate in the demonstration, encouraging them to combat the prejudice against women smokers. He also instructed his secretary, Bertha Hunt, to pass herself off as a women's rights advocate and drum up comrades in arms for their campaign. For the Easter Sunday parade, Bernays himself was not in attendance, but he would later be informed of how a group of 10 young women walking up and down Fifth Avenue confidently lit up cigarette after cigarette while Bertha Hunt fulfilled her role professionally as the initiator.
So this is more of a New Orleans parade. Just going to put that out there. There's 10 people going up. and down
Right.
the street.
No. It's not just that they're in the parade.
Oh,
it's
okay.
the Easter Sunday parade in New York City.
Oh, they're like a
And
float.
would they
Yes.
pop in?
Okay. Okay, no.
They're afloat in the parade.
Not a float.
It's
but
just
they're-
a group
They're saying,
in the
so it's more like
parade.
a St. Patrick's Day parade,
But
where
that
it's like,
group-
and here comes the
smokers.
here comes
like-
the John F. Kennedy band
In
John F.
Philly,
Kennedy High School band.
A
yeah.
good example in Philly, New Year's Day parade, they're the mummers. Yeah,
Okay,
the mummers.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like the local Friars Club, whatever. Yeah, okay.
Driving their little cars.
Yeah. So when a reporter from the New York World approached Hunt to ask how she had arrived to the idea of a women's smoking march, she answered that she first got the idea for this campaign when a man with her in the street asked her to extinguish her cigarette as it was embarrassing.
For who? I mean, it's a lie. The whole thing's a lie.
The whole thing's a
Yeah,
lie,
yeah.
yes.
No, anyone that tells someone else they should be embarrassed is a coward.
And that sparked her talking it over with her friends, and they decided it was high time something was done about the situation. So they all
By the
lit
way,
up.
this sounds like exact every lie I ever hear online. It's like a lot like not again. I'm pro-choice, but it's like type of thing. It's like Roe v. Wade was overturned, and then it's like
My 5-year-old came
my
up to me.
5-year-old came up to me and said like, "Mommy, why do Republicans want to murder me?" It's like, nah, it didn't happen. That didn't happen.
That's the funniest thing to me is like we don't actually need to make things up.
Yeah,
like
you don't.
there's very
You-
salient points to make without being completely full of shit.
Yeah, it's
Either
really
way, like,
not hard.
It's the same thing. Like again, everyone does it though.
Everyone.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not like you can do the same thing on the other side. It's like abortion passes. It's like, "Mommy, would you have murdered me if you could have?"
Yeah, like no.
Shut the fuck up. That didn't happen.
Make your own decisions.
Yeah.
God damn. Is
Yeah.
it that crazy?
Shit.
Like, is it that crazy to
happen.
not want to tell other people what to do?
Yeah,
I
do
don't
your
know.
own research, Jake.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm fucking fine with it, man. If you want to make stupid decisions, make them. It's the land of the free. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, do you.
Exactly.
Do you?
It's fucking freedom.
In their coverage of New York's Easter Parade, scores of U.S. newspapers reported the story of the young women and their torches of freedom, while some correctly suspected it was a PR stunt or stated that the smokers had not attracted much attention at all. Others presented it as a campaign of emancipated women.
I saw this. We need a Freedom Torch T-shirt.
Ooh.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, we need
We
a
already have the Come and Toke It one kind of mocked up. We could just swap that around.
freedom torch.
Freedom torch.
Freedom torch.
I know it kind of needs to be like
A torch.
they need to be holding it like a cigarette but high like a torch. Like it's a freedom torch.
Yeah. It's a Statue of Liberty holding a big old cig.
Oh, dude.
Because she's a lady.
Neither Bernays nor American Tobacco were ever mentioned by name in the press reports.
Of course they
It had to
So-
be organic.
It was successful.
There's
like the
nothing
Tucker
less
Max shit.
organic than anything that is called organic.
It's like the Tucker Max thing where he put up a billboard and then had a bunch of fake protesters go up and like it got all the I hope they serve beer in hell shit press.
For what?
I forget, man. He was really good at it though.
He did try to donate to Planned Parenthood, and they wouldn't take his donation.
He's gonna be your neighbor soon.
He lives in Dripping Springs, yeah. He came in. He was interviewed here not long ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, that guy's a master of spin though.
He is. He was kind of whatever. He was really. He was. I thought his writing was hysterical in college and shit like that. And I'm like, well, I'm too old for it now. I would probably go back and read a lot of it and be like, oh, it's still funny. But I just like meeting him in person was not the same as reading who I thought.
Oh, I mean, what author is like?
Right.
God, if you read Stephen King and meet him, you'd be
Right.
blown away.
It's two different
yeah.
things.
Now, with this act at the Easter Parade in New York, hopes that prominent figures for the women's movement and churches would join to show unity in the acceptance of female smokers followed through. It gained a vast amount of coverage and allowed women to feel confident about smoking in public despite potential ridicule. Marches soon after took place in Boston, Detroit, San Francisco, and newspapers across the country published all about it.
Who's ridiculing them? Nerds?
Men.
Dorks, yeah.
Yeah, but nerds?
Yeah,
Nerds.
dorks,
Yeah.
nerds.
Like,
yeah.
I don't. What do you.
That's not ladylike.
I will say, like, just to go back to, like, the abortion thing for a second, like, at no point in my life ever would a group of youth group kids making fun of me dent my pride. Like, I'd just be like, all right.
Yeah, but if those youth group kids were throwing bricks at you,
It wouldn't dent my pride. It might dent my skull.
think your skull.
Yeah.
Just like your sons.
Aw.
We kinked that out.
Poor
all right?
Rory.
We molded that out. He does keep falling on his head a lot right now, though.
Dude, I was going to say something actually. Rory without the helmet is kind of terrifying because he's very confident, like he still has the helmet on.
Yeah.
He whacked the shit out of his head at our place that one time.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to support himself on the table leg and just went head first
Yep.
into it. It was just like,
He does that a lot.
yeah, because he's used to the padding.
Yeah. Well, now it's just he's just dumb. He's
He's
just a
a
dumb
baby.
baby.
Yeah, he's a baby.
But there was a minute that's still bad, but I think that's a baby thing. But like him having to learn that he couldn't pivot on his skull, like to turn around and shit.
Because it'll give him rug burn and shit.
Yeah. Like that was a rough learning experience for him. And you can't just be like, no, he doesn't know what it means.
Yeah, he's
like
gotta
he has
learn,
to just
that's a trial
learn
and
through
error.
pain.
Yeah, that's a trial and error thing for sure.
The campaign was considered successful as sales to women increased afterwards. Headlines all over read, "Women are free. Ancient prejudice has been removed. It's toasted." Read one newspaper.
Well, that's classic because that's the famous Lucky Strike campaign.
Yeah.
It's toasted, yeah.
Tastes toasty.
Well, that's what's
Ancient
funny is that
prejudice.
that happened probably 50 years after this. Then that happened in the early 60s.
I imagine they probably just ripped this from real, like, or for Mad Men.
Well, yeah, no, Mad Men's that whole Lucky Strike story is the real story. It's the Reader's Digest issue came out saying, yeah, cigarettes cause cancer, and like everyone was like, oh fuck, we gotta say how it does. Ours doesn't. They were just like, ours is toasted.
Reader's Digest. You know who actually found out that cigarettes cause cancer?
Who?
Hitler.
Oh, really?
Actually, yeah, Hitler weirdly really hated smoking. Probably was tired of chicks doing it.
He was smart because he fucking iced a couple people out when he had a meeting, I believe, at one point where he wouldn't let Churchill smoke in it.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, we're not leaving. Like, Churchill agreed to something, I think, or something.
Yeah. Well, it would
So-
be Churchill. He didn't meet with Churchill ever. He met with Chamberlain.
Oh, Chamberlain.
Never.
That's it.
No,
Neville,
Chamberlain. Yeah.
Cigarette companies followed Bernays' lead and created campaigns that targeted women. Lucky brand cigarettes capitalized on recent fashions for skinny women by telling women to reach for a Lucky instead of a Sweet.
I mean, they're
That's
not wrong.
That's not wrong at all.
Yeah. it will keep you thin.
Every time I meet, like we were talking about bigger people earlier, like you don't meet when you do meet a very large smoker, you're like, oh no, like that is a race, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But like most of the time, I've never like met a whole lot of fat smokers. Actually, I have. That's not true.
Well, it depends. Like in college, it's different than like a 40-year-old fat smoker.
Yeah.
I met many of those. Because like all the like when I was a little kid, all the adults who smoked were like really skinny.
Yeah.
For the most part. I knew one bigger guy, but like the rest were like oddly like meth skinny adults.
Mm-hmm. Marlboro, in stark contrast to the Marlboro Men ads we're familiar with today, started the Mild as May campaign to encourage women to take up smoking cigarettes that were appropriately mild and easier to smoke. So they made diet cigarettes.
Yeah. Dude, what do you think of Virginia Slim is?
Tale as old as time.
Shrink it and pink it, dude.
Dude, nothing changes.
Yeah.
Nothing changes because obviously with this movement, with cigarette companies being more acceptable and targeting campaigning to women, laws changed. They could smoke outside now. And Bernays, kind of continued a long career into the 1990s.
In engineered consent.
in PR, engineered consent, yeah. He was not the first man in PR. However, he is easily the greatest impact in the field. He bolstered the new profession with theory, gave it a philosophical framework, and his findings are all over like textbooks today.
I mean, yeah, dude, if you're the first one, you're kind of trailblazing, right? Like
Yeah.
you are, that's pretty brilliant that he decided to put a philosophy to it, like you said, or a framework, because when you start to do that, you can also test it, right? Until you test something, everything's a hunch.
Right.
So like, I mean, of course,
A/B test, whatever.
Sure. Well, yeah, I mean, like that's what we have now, right?
Right.
Like you can test segments, but like the fact that he was trying to engineer, like he was truly engineering it. He wasn't just making shit up.
I mean, again, though, like that term sounds sketchy for dumb social reasons, but like logically,
What do you think marketing is?
all consent is engineered.
Everything is like, especially in our society,
Yeah.
too. Like every single day you buy something, that is based on some level of marketing, unless it's like
Right.
unless it's eggs, and that's based on price. You know what I mean? Like if you were buying something that's not on the outside rim of the grocery store and it's in the middle and it comes in a box, you're getting marketed to on some level.
Yeah. He did this in 29. Obviously did this into the 90s. He is considered one of the 100 most influential people of this century.
I jot them down.
Yeah, I would definitely
Definitely a
agree with
man
that.
you've probably never heard of, but has probably shaped this country more than most.
That's like the opening of The Big Short, where they're like, this guy influenced your life more than Michael Jordan and Bill Gates and
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. It was the guy who just
Invented-
invented the housing market or whatever.
invented mortgage bonds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we could probably dig into like more of his campaigns, but I just figured this was topical for now. I thought this was a good topic to cover.
It is a hilarious topic to cover.
It's insane to me that, God, men were a bunch of Karens back in the day, like,
And women.
and women. Yeah,
Women be hating on their own
That's what I'm...
all the time.
That's what I really want. It really like, if
really
anything,
be your own.
You know how like people claim it's like, oh, race is a smokescreen to keep us from having like the real discussion, which is class or whatever. That's like the thing or whatever.
It's classism, not racism.
Yeah. So a similar thing is
Can't be both.
Is that like gender? I mean,
it's an
it can be.
insane take, but yeah, I
No,
know.
I'm making fun of that take.
I know what you're doing. It's just so funny when I hear people say that it can't be both. What do you mean? If you engineer one race to be stuck in one class, it can absolutely be
Right. It
both.
can get both.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, like a lot of problems are economic, essentially.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm not saying there's not racism, blah, blah, blah. But the point being is that like a lot of gender issues get turned into man versus woman when really there's like, it's real, like there are a ton of women who are on the side of the anti-woman side and a ton of men who are like, oh, that's dumb.
Yeah, well, I think this brings up a paradoxical point that you're actually talking about,
Yeah.
right? Because the women you are talking about, in theory, a lot of people call them pick-me's, right? Like, pick me. I'm the good woman.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
the woman that sides with men, right? And the argument here that a lot of people, and this is where I'm going to get into the paradox here, a lot of people that are on the more liberal side will be like, oh, they were conditioned by the patriarchy in order to
Right.
fight against our progress. But at the same time, then you're saying, too, that women can't think for themselves. Those
Yeah.
women can't think for themselves. And that lies the paradox of that argument, right? There's no way to unpack it.
Right.
It's a non-starter. Honestly, a lot of the Roe v. Wade discussion is a non-starter because if you believe truly that those are human souls
From the second it's fertilized.
then yeah, I'm going to have a hard time convincing you otherwise because I can't fucking prove that.
Right.
And if you don't, you're going to have a really hard time telling me that a person can't make their own fucking decisions for their body.
I don't even think that that's even the point. Like, or like, I'm at this point, I'm just like, yeah, all right, you can believe it's a life or not a life. I'm not going to argue. I don't know. Just like, maybe we can just like allow this to happen while also using upstream solutions to stop it from happening.
Sure. I mean, one would be comprehensive sex education for children.
Right.
And a lot of people think that's grooming behavior. So
Whatever, it's
yeah,
all
I know
fucking right,
it's a non-starter argument.
But the whole point is it's just like, it's not,
this is a pure feeling.
it's not X versus Y. It's like a weird, just like mix of a group of people, men and women who believe one thing and a group of other people who are probably more like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's highly emotional. And you know what? I think more people need to smoke cigs.
I think everyone needs to chill. Take a fucking cool
I agree.
break, bro.
Yeah.
Take a cool break.
Take a break.
I was
smoke
more of a
some
Camel
Cools.
guy.
Rip it.
Camel lights were my of choice. My
I
smoke of
definitely
choice.
I smoked Parliaments when I
P-Funks?
smoked cigarettes. Yeah,
Well,
I love P-Funks.
As a Delco guy, I can't really escape Newport.
You didn't
man.
fucking smoke Newports.
Oh, I bet you he did.
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Like that was your main.
I didn't really smoke. I
I've
just
smoked
carried
a Newport, but I'm saying your main cigarette of choice.
Well,
was
I
a
told you
fucking
this.
menthol
So-
Newport.
You
I
ever
would
touch-
carry cigarettes freshman year. I didn't smoke unless, obviously, I carried cigarettes. So if a girl in the quad or in like the courtyard asked, "Hey, you got a cigarette?" I could rip it out, talk to them, share a cigarette with them.
Oh, you're engineering consent?
Yeah, engineered consent. But yeah, I mean, I just defaulted to Newport because that's all I knew.
It's I would if anyone here has never smoked a Newport, have you ever touched ice so cold it hurts? Imagine breathing it. That's how
dude.
mentholated it is.
Menthol is the fucking worst.
I love them. Like
Were you a Camel Crush guy?
no, I was more Parliament guy, like I said. But if I was gonna get anything other than that, if I was feeling a little like wild hair, I would get Camel Crushes. Yeah.
What you guys learned today?
Learned that Jake likes Camel Crushes, which
I don't-
is fucking weird. I learned that you smoked Newports, which is extremely
Kinda.
gross.
I see. At least a Camel Crush gives you the option to smoke it's a Camel Light with a bead in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
do
like-
enjoy that.
Yeah, like the option is
What
there.
if like there's like a Bud Light Crush and there's just like a lime in the middle?
you just like, do you want
Do you
this
crush
lime?
the lime part? I want to be like, you know what? I've had enough of this Bud Light. I want lime for the rest of it. I want a Bud Light lime for the rest of it.
Dude, also, it's a side tangent. Bud Light Lime, everyone makes fun of it now. When it first came
BLL?
out, it was the hottest shit.
Oh,
dude,
everyone wanted
BLLs
that
came out
shit.
when I was in
Yeah,
high school. It was,
same.
I would
That's
drink that
what
shit
everyone
all
drank.
weekend.
People, I was in college when that came out. People were crushing that shit.
Yeah.
It
Bud Light
never
Lime was
stopped.
great.
Do you want to know why
BLLs.
people were crushing it? Is because that at that time Corona got really popular, and Bud Light was like, we got to jump on this bullshit.
Yeah, just
and
put
they're
the
like,
lime
we
in
already
it.
have the lime in it.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
Yeah.
Skip the middleman.
Yeah.
Cut out the middleman.
You
Cut
want
out
to? You
big
really,
lime.
want to cut limes like an asshole?
Yeah. Oh, you a bartender?
We put
now?
it
You a
in.
bar back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's Hitler?
Who's Hitler? Cigarettes? Probably.
No.
No, I would.
Cigarettes are freedom. They're torches of freedom.
Well, I would say anyone that's telling somebody they shouldn't do something because it's not ladylike.
Yeah. Whatever Methodist was like, don't smoke.
Put
cigarettes.
that out, you wench.
Yeah.
Yeah, that person is Hitler.
The just general sort of
It's more of an Eichmann
vibe.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I can
And
get
what I
down with that.
learned today is that feel bad for chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Feels
It sucks.
like we're always just doing weird shit.
Yeah.
Gerard Carmichael's
Get stronger.
Gerard Carmichael's joke.
About was it when Trump got
won.
elected?
He's like, hey
It's
guys,
not a loss for women.
guys, it's a win for men.
Yeah.
Still crazy after all these years.
Yeah.
Phil Jackson couldn't put together a string of wins like this. Yeah,
that was really funny.
Gerard Carmichael's the best.
What the fuck, man? Like, I honestly,
I mean, the real dynasty, man,
yeah,
It's insane.
still
Undefeated.
kicking it. Yeah, we are. Suck it.
Oh no.
and with that,
with that, make sure to check us out on Instagram at Softcore History, patreon.com/Softcore History, softcorehistory.com. Get some merch. We'll make some
We got
Freedom
to spin up
Torch.
some new designs.
Freedom Torch shirts.
We got to spin up some new designs
Yeah.
in general. I got a couple ideas.
We need a Freedom Torch T-shirt
for sure. That's
I would
our
say
trademark.
I like the Statue of Liberty holding a cigarette.
Yeah. I want it to be something that's cool though. I don't want it to be too gimmicky. Like I want to make cool shirts. You know?
Well, cringe sells.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, but I like cool too. So
I want
there's a
something
middle
I can
ground.
wear.
Like, what about like a ladylike hand with her fingernails painted red, white, and blue, holding a cig?
Okay.
Freedom Torch.
Maybe we'll see.
We'll work on
discuss
some stuff.
We'll discuss. Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got, guys. Anything else?
No.
All right. For Rob Fox and Jay Goldman, I'm Dan Regester, and you just got soft served.